Hey guys, so you've been following my channel. You know I'm building this camper shell for my Maverick over here. And what's happening is that when the camper shell is on the top, I can't see through the back because, of course, the camper is covering it. So what I need to do, when I'm backing up, there's no problem, but I want to be able to check my blind spot. And what I want to do is I want to have a camera that fits on the camper shell or anywhere else for that matter while I'm driving, because when I'm backing up I have the backup camera. That's not an issue, but I want to be able to check the blind spot. So what I have is this Sinvanho D1 camera, and I'm hoping this will solve my problem and allow me to look at the blind spot even while I'm driving, not just when I'm backing up. Alright, so let's take a look at this camera. 4K camera, so it's going to be super clear, but it's got front and rear, which is important. I don't want just a dash cam. I want to be able to look out the rear also, and that's important. Let's see what it comes with. Okay, let's take a look at what's here. All right, here's the mounting thing for the camera and the display. Some wiring. So this is the rear camera, looks like. Cigarette lighter port. Flash memory drive. So this is actually really nice that it comes with some memory in it, because those memory cards aren't cheap. Okay, GPS also, so that there's the GPS capabilities of this camera, so it knows where you're at. Looks like maybe the rear camera mounting. We'll give it a shot. Looks like a short USB power port, so if you got access to a USB that's close by, there's a short cable. I think that's what it's for, but anyways, we'll see what it's for when we start hooking things up. See what else is in here. Okay, so this is the front camera itself. There's the front camera, and this is important for me, is that it has a display screen, and using this display screen I'm going to be able to see what's in the back of my car. So let's hook it up and give it a shot. It's got Wi-Fi, 4K, HD, and there's an app that comes with it too for you to view and download files. And the memory card is already inserted in there. So it comes with 64 gigs of memory. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, you know, these cost money, so it adds to the cost of the product. So it's nice that it comes with it. So let's hook it up and give it a shot. Okay, looks like there's two mounting options. You could just stick it right onto the window with using this adhesive right here, and it'll slide onto that pin right there. And also there's this guy, which will be a suction onto your windshield. Of course, it's not a sticker, it's a suction, so this comes off a little bit easier. I'm going to use this option right here, and I'm going to install it somewhere like around there. I'll put the camera down and stick it in. So on this suction cup, there's this little locking thing. So what you do, push it in and then you twist, and that'll lock it in. Let me try to do it with one hand, but so now it's in locked mode. And that's the way it looks on the underside. So let's put in the camera and take a look at it. Okay, so that's with the camera in. That's the way it's going to look, and you can tilt it, and of course you could screw it in to save your position, and then you'll be able to rotate it as needed. So looking back, for me, that seems a little bit too high. I don't want it to be up there, so I'm going to lower it. All right, that's better. So now I could actually see the screen, and I could control the modes. I don't know if you could see it with the glare of the sun. but there's the mode control, up, down, menu. So the buttons are down here, nice and accessible. So that's the way the camera is going to mount. Okay, so if you wanted to use the GPS feature, this is where you would install the GPS, and there's a double-sided sticker, and you could put it up there or stick it up here or something like that, somewhere out of the way. But I am actually not going to use this GPS feature. I just don't need it for my applications, so I'm not going to install that. So I'm just going to install the power and the rear camera port to this, and then we're going to route it up through here, up and around. Okay, so I'm not going to do a hard wire, but I do want the wires out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to route the wires up and through the back. And the package actually comes with a pry tool. And if you have a Ford Maverick, you could just pry that open. And that'll give you access to the inside. So now we can route the wires up real easy. First the USB, then the rear camera port. Okay, just hooks up like that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hide the wires inside of this. Okay, so now that I have the wires routed up and through this, and this is secure, I can start routing the wires through the headliner. Okay, so from this side you'll see here's the wires, and then I'm just going to start tucking it in and routing it through. And if you have a little plastic tool like this, it'll be a little bit easier for you to tuck it in. Okay, so when you get here, what you can do is you could take this pillar, just take this guy right here, take that out, and then you can start routing the lines through here. Alright, tuck it all under. When you get here, you can put this guy back, just clicking it in like that. So let's finish the routing down here. So for here, we're just going to keep tucking. Inside the seal. Not even going to take anything out. Okay, so for down here, I took out the snap just so that I could get it underneath there. So route it underneath. But remember, just the power line. I only want the power to go that way. The other line is the audio. The other line is the video line, which I want to go to the back of the car. So just one wire. Okay, so now that we've got those two lines, that's the way it looks on the inside. I'm going to go around this post, this plug, and then I'm going to put that plug back in. Okay. Alright, got that back in, and here's the two wires, okay? So one wire, the power, I'm going to just go to the middle. The power line, I'm just going to route underneath here, and going to zip tie it up, and then bring it, okay, so bring this around to over here, and then I can plug it in to my cigarette lighter right there. And it's got a USB on this side too, just in case you still need a port. But now I'm going to tuck this wire away so I don't step on it while I'm driving, of course. Okay, so now that I got that power line tucked away and it's plugged into there nice and neat, I need to go now and route the video line. And I could route it underneath here, but I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually undo a little bit of what I did. And for the video line, I'm going to come up this pillar and then go around to the back. That's going to give me quick access to my rear camera spot, and I'm going to make it movable. So there's two mounting options that this box comes with, and I'm going to use them both to my advantage. Okay, so I undid that to make the video line come up here, and I'm going to do the same thing, tuck it in, and then route it around the back. Alright, so I tucked it all underneath, comes around, and here it is, and I'm going to tuck it underneath this, and then bring it around here. And here's my old video camera, and I'm going to replace that and put in the new video camera. But it's key that it comes around over here, because I want to give myself the option of moving the camera when I have the camper shell on. Alright, here's the wire. I'm just going to tuck it underneath, just tuck it all in. And now, don't yank on it after you tuck it. And now, here's the wire. I'll be able to install the camera real easy. Okay, so the first way I'm going to mount the camera is right here. So let's mount that up. So that's going to go on like that. No problem. So now I can easily connect the video port, and the nice thing about it is I can connect and disconnect it and move the camera to the back behind the camper shell when I want to in the future. You can see I could even do it with just one hand. Well, I forgot to plug in the microphone, so I'm going to do a little bit of dubbing right here. But anyways, so with all this extra wire, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck it here in the back of the seat. And I want the ability to extend that wire all the way around to the back, so that when I do have the camper shell on, I'm able to take out the wire, move the camera, and extend it to the rear of the camper shell. Alright, so in this mode, the wires are tucked away nice and neatly, and you don't need to see it. But the next mode, I want to be able to, remember, go around the camper shell that I'm going to put. And that, I'm just going to remove this camera, put it out this window, and then I can easily take this line and bring it around to the back. And here, I'm going to also have a secondary mounting position on the camper shell for the camera, which will be able to tilt to the new position on the new camera. So what I'm going to do is probably put the camera somewhere around here or up here or something. I haven't decided the exact spot, but the concept is there. So I'll be able to see behind the big camper shell. So next up, let's test these cameras to see how clear they are, and we'll install the app. Okay, so I installed this Lucky Cam app, and I'm going to go through the setup instructions. Alright, I turned it on. I had to move the camera to the car to the garage because there was too much glare in the sun. As you can see, my rear camera is right there, and it is upside down right now, so there's a button on the rear camera. I think there's a button on the rear camera to flip it. Let's go check that. Alright, so in this app mode, I can record, stop recording, switch to photo mode, folders. I guess that's going to show, yep, all my data. Let's go to settings. Let's see how we could flip that camera upside down. So on this camera, there's a button right up there. Flip that over, see if that solves our problem. Okay, so let's give this thing a shot. Look at it. The screen is pretty sharp. Look at, there's the reverse. There's the rear view camera and there's the front view, and there's my house. I think it looks pretty sharp, so let's take it for a drive and see. The switch on the camera was able to flip the rear view camera, but you do have to recycle the power. Well, yeah, I think the picture is pretty sharp. Seems to be working pretty well. And all this stuff is on the camera too, on the video card, so you could take out the video card and take a look at your video. It's going to be even sharper, of course, when you look at it on a bigger screen than this. So this is the actual footage that I downloaded from the camera, and you could see it looks pretty good. This is downloaded video from the rear camera, and you can see the color is not as sharp, but it's still, the picture itself still looks pretty good. Okay, let's look at the different modes. So this is just front camera. This is just rear, and that's rear up there and front here. So, and this is backwards. That's rear and that's front. Or you can have just all front or all rear. So let's come back at night and give it a shot to see how well that looks. So here's the downloaded nighttime footage, and I think it looks pretty good also, pretty sharp. Rear camera. The rear camera is not as sharp as the front-facing camera. It is degraded at nighttime, at least from this screen. But we'll take a look at it on the memory card to verify. Alright, so I've been using this for a couple of days now, and it's actually been working great. You know, it's a really inexpensive little dash cam, 4K dash cam. The frames per second is not as high as my iPhone, of course, so it's not that nice and not that smooth, but the picture itself is very clear. The only thing that I would change is if I could make the screen stay on all the time. It doesn't stay on all the time, so when I do want to look in the back or something like that, I do need to click on the mode button to turn on. But I think it was $65 for an Amazon Prime, so that's not bad. So if you're looking for an inexpensive camera, this might be the one for you.